So it's raining outside. It's maybe a little bit noisier than usual right here. We had a summer meditation and channeling camp, and also 2 great channelings. And I would like to share the experiences which we had there. So nice to see you 2 guys right now who are online. And keep in mind, there may be an internet failures for a moment or so, because I'm driving in a rainy weather. All right, so I will keep this in my ear to keep the noise around quieter a little bit. So there were 2 really interesting experiences. One was the channeling with another being from Enrico world who came in, and because the people asked they want to channel something like this, and the being came in, started to doing chats, but he couldn't speak. He wasn't used to human speaking, and that was interesting. So what he did, he just came here, and he was looking for maybe 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. I don't have the time feeling at that moment that precise to tell how long was it, but it was for a couple of minutes. And then I was pushing him the way, let's speak, let's tell something so that people know that you're here, because some people do not see actually. They don't get the idea what's actually going on. Well, some people who are sensitive, they get an idea that a different being came. And I'm telling him, let's start speak. And what he starts doing is he starts sharing poetic poems or poetic type of a speech. Now, first of all, he cannot speak humankind language, so he used my vocabulary, and he was amazed of my vocabulary. Speak. Well, it was in Latvian, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different in translation because it's a little bit different meaning. So anyway, I will just try to pronounce it in English as it most closest it can be. So I'm telling now, just speak. And he tells, a speak is speaking. And then he's telling, a nice speech is speaking. And then he's saying, a nice speech is speaking to speakers, or something like this. And the speak itself is hearing. It was doing something like this. And then people started to laugh and what's going on? And he said, nice people hearing a speak while they are sitting. And somebody is speaking, something like this. He started doing something like this. But afterwards it turned out, and he started talk a little bit more words. When he found out and heard other words what people were telling, he started to match together a variety of different words. And he was like, I cannot translate it in exact words to English, but in Latvian it sounded really nice, and I don't actually remember that much in Latvian how it sounded, and maybe I will have the recording soon. So he said something like, somebody asked a question, and he said, something like, you look sad to this world, and you see the world sad. Take a step into this world. A beautiful step will be taken into this world. And smile, because you are making a new beautiful step in this world. It turns out a really beautiful text. It just changed the energy. It was something like this. And he started, and when I'm channeling that being or whatever is coming through, he's starting putting some text together. I don't know any idea what he wants to tell. And afterwards it sounds really, really beautiful. And I'm like, okay. And that was one of, by far, the most interesting experience what I have had. But there was another experience which I want to tell. And in this channeling, the interesting thing was that he was speaking confident and clear. He wasn't like or maybe or should I. He was speaking confident and clear. You know, sometimes when you talk to a person, yes, hello everybody. This is an English video, so I'm talking in English. So when you are talking with somebody, for example, who is sad, and you look at him, you feel his sadness, and your own energy changes to a more lower energy, a more sadder energy, and your voice changes and your energy changes, and you become a little bit sadder yourself, for example. But wherever he was looking, although there may be somebody sad or asking a sad question and somebody joyful, he was completely confident about himself. He was completely confident and clear in his speech, as if nothing that was around him actually could touch him. He was just speaking. He was just speaking with clearest confidence, and that was also a positive energy. That was also an interesting and a positive energy. And after this channeling, I will share more information. After this channeling, we were starting to do Om chantings, and in those Om chantings in the circle, we started to laugh, and I started to laugh so badly that I started getting my back cramps and cheek cramps and everything, and it was so funny. It was I was still with this being's energy. I was just laughing, and then when the next day when I woke up, I was like, wow, what happened yesterday? Was I completely drunk? You know, I don't drink alcohol, but I was like, was I completely drunk? What am I talking about? And at that moment, if somebody would showed me that I was doing some poetic channelings, I would be like, well, what the hell was that? And that's not my type to speak like this at all. And in fact, it was completely opposite from what I speak and how I speak. So anyway, it was really an interesting experience, and that laughter was with me until I slept out that laughing energy. So, but then in that channeling, they shared a couple of nice ideas. So this was the Enrico sharing the message, and the poetic being was another being. So this information was shared by Enrico, and he said that, well, the people ask about illnesses and diseases and such self, and he didn't even touch the name of disease. He talked about, why are you humans even thinking about such things? Why don't you ask us, how can we feel more better and more joyful and more exciting and more uplifted? Why are you so negatively oriented? And he told that, well, for example, he told a phrase which speaks by itself. How was it? The situations that are around you have no built-in meaning. They do not matter. So whatever is happening around you, it isn't with a built-in meaning. It's meaningless. The happening itself is meaningless. But the attitude that you put to the happening is what creates meaning. And he told as an example, like, for example, you would say, oh, I'm in an illness and I feel bad, whatever the illness may be, cough or laziness or something else. You'll feel bad. Some people with several illnesses feel really good in the same situation. And some people with no illnesses feel really bad because of a different situation, what they have put up to themselves. So the circumstances or the situation in which you are is meaningless. You yourself label a meaning to your situation. Now, and when you do that, and when we do that, and especially when I do that, we all do that, we can ask ourselves, why do we put this self a negative label or a negative meaning to this happening, what's happening? Because it itself is meaningless. So we classify moments as positive, as negative. Why do we classify this moment as negative? What is that classifies it as a negative moment? So it's a question that we must think about ourselves, but then they continue. So for example, if you are in a classifying yourself or labeling your life as sad, as bad, as full of sadness, as full of guilt, or whatever the feeling may be, you yourself are creating a shadow within you. You are creating a shadow that lowers your energy. But what they said, I want to say exactly as the Enrico said, what it means is our life, or we are just exploding with life energy, with life force energy, with happiness, with joy, with excitement. We are just constantly exploding with this energy. And when we create those shadows, we are using so much energy to block this life force energy, to block this joyful energy, to block this excitement energy. We ourselves are blocking our life force energy, our excitement energy. We are just blocking it. And then they're telling you, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And he said the opposite would be what you can do, and what we all can do is, whether we are in a negative situation or a sad situation, stop labeling this situation as a bad situation. Stop labeling it as a sad, or whatever the situation may be, lonely, sad, depressive, whatever. What you can do is just imagine and visualize or think, how would you like it to be? How would you like your life to be? Now, and this idea wasn't brought forward from them by the idea of visualization and manifestation. It wasn't brought to it from this perspective. It was brought through from a perspective that when we start visualizing ourselves in a positive environment, in a positive situation, for example, how many times have you just stopped whatever you are doing and ask yourself, how would you want it to be? What is that your body, yourself, would really want in this moment to be? How would it like to be? How would you like it to be? How many times have you asked yourself, what is the thing what you truly want in this moment? So, and the idea is that we are just creating those shadows of loneliness, of sadness, of negative energy, whatever it may be, and we are blocking that life force energy which arises, or how I see, from the navel or the solar chakra, which is basically the region of stomach, the solar plexus chakra, how it's called. And how I see it is there is constantly a yellow sparking light just blasting and blasting and blasting. But we are lowering it, and it cannot blast through and create joy and create movement and create activity and create smile and create happiness in our life. It's just being blocked by our own shadow, the sadness and everything. So, and what they said is, visualize how you want it to be. Just visualize how you want it to be. And why? It's simple. Because when you visualize a situation where you want it to be, where you would like to be, how would you like to be, the life force energy awakens. You start seeing those images in your visionary centers, in your imagination, whatever it may be, and your life force energy starts awakening. It starts awakening. It does that. You do completely opposite. You stop feeding this shadow of negative energy, and you start feeding yourself with positive energy. And what starts happening then, your inner life force energy just arises, and you start feeling movement, joyfulness, smilefulness, activity, more and more. And then they shared like an analogy. It's like basically when you're going inside the forest. This was about how to attain more success in your life. They always say the first step is always the hardest, and the first step is the step that makes all those changes. So just visualizing is the first step that starts making all those great changes in your life. So it's like the forest. When you start getting closer to a forest, you see that it's full of trees and you don't see nowhere to go through. But as you get closer, the gaps between the trees, and you start seeing a path where you can go through. You just start seeing past when you go through. And although the goals or the benefits in your life that you want to attain in business or whatever it may be, for example, such a way as a business or such a way of success, or the things that you wish in your life are attained or are achieved more easier if you have a positive and uplifted state. So as they said, in this state, in this joyful state, whatever situations come through you, all bushy and forest, dense forest and everything, once you get closer to it, a way unfolds. So don't fog yourself whether it is or it isn't possible. Don't even think about it. The situations will unfold itself once you get closer to it. So this is a really interesting thing, especially the visualizing part. You know, in last days I was lazy to visualize my life to be a little bit. Just visualize to amplify your energy, uplift your energy, become more joyful in your life. Visualize without zero expectations, just to increase positive energy in your life, just to increase your life force energy in your life. It's a simple method, and what it takes to visualize how we want it to be or where we want it to be. And the rest thing is just lead the way, let the life unfold itself. And what they said is, well, basically about illnesses and the diseases is what you are people asking. You are asking because you are full of this cloud, shadow-like energy, lowering your energy and not allowing your life force energy to just explode with joyfulness. And they said, what can we do? And they said, well, tomorrow when there will be sun, yeah, we do a buffering, but I cannot do anything. This was the zone where I went through where there's always internet failures. So, yeah, what you can do in the morning when it will be sun, just go outside, lift your hands in the air and just dance around and jump around like monkeys, and it will truly amplify yourself with energy, increase your energy. So it's really simple and it's really beautiful, and it's really, there's no science to it. It's simple as that. So this was for me, it was also really valuable information. But the most powerful channelings what I had by now, what I can tell, not the most, but for the last 3 or maybe 4 years, the most powerfulest channeling I had was the next day. There's a big truck in front, I'll try to pass it. Okay, already an intersection, but I will pass him no matter what it takes, because I'm driving a Corsa, a white Corsa, 1.2 liters engine, LPG system. Doesn't go faster than 180 kilometers per hour if you're going downhill and wind is not blowing against you. So as it sounds, this car is doing the maximum what it can be doing, and that's why I like it. Simple, and I like it. So so one of the most powerful challenge which I had for the last years was done the next day after this information which I shared. And although I do not actually remember much of that channeling, because we did a really beautiful meditation, and so many people came to me then and said this was one of the best meditations that I've had so far. And I was like, yeah, to me it was also a really beautiful meditation. And when people meditate collectively and invite beings to their meditations, especially positive beings as Enrico or as this heavens, like the place of absolute presence, the beautiful white bright color the world is made of, the energy, and it creates a light, blissful state for everybody. And especially where so many people have been in such a meditation, it creates a beautiful aura in the dome house where we were meditating, or in the place where we were meditating. It creates such a beautiful feeling, and many people just stay and keep on meditating because it's so blissful. And this is one of the most important things why I like to do these meditations and channelings. This is one of the most this is the reason why I like doing the summer camps. Although it's not about the financial. It's not about, because if it were about financial, then I would not do it. It's the people, it's the energy, and it's the beings who are in those channelings, which create it to be so blissful. It's so blissful. And so yeah. Wait, I don't see a road. I need to plug my ears. So anyway, continuing. So before the channeling lesson, we all were meditating, and then I decided, well, yeah, actually, it creates much more. If I had a much more energy field around me, it creates much deeper channeling states. And then I decided, well, okay, so I will just, while everybody is meditating, I will just harness some more cosmic energy, so that, or I call it chi, so that I could, get a more deeper channeling state. And it worked. So when the beings came, they just locked me out completely. They just blocked me completely. It's like a being came and he said, okay, now step aside. We will talk right now. Just step aside. We are the ones who will talk right now. And my mouth was completely shut. And they started sharing a text like this. And I'll try to tell it word to word exactly how I can remember it. So, and they started talking like this. Well, hello everybody. It's an honor for us to be here, because through this experience is what you are having. It was a point to channeling a meditation experience. And you people that are here have trusted us trusted the beings, not me, the beings, for a longer period of time. Like, as I remember, they said 4 or 5 years. And we have realized that those people who are here listening have the same human connective energy as you have, and as we have, the beings, as we have. It represents to us that you are truly interested to have a more closer connection, and that you humans are truly interested to harness back to a global family reunion between you and us above, as I said. And this trust that you have created for us, although sometimes you have seen it to be doubtingful, you trust it because you truly hear and see something within this. And it's the energy that connects all humankind. It's energy that connects all humankind. So we are giving you a great thankfulness for this, that you see trust in ourselves, in us above. And we are honoring you as, like, let's say, our friends, or something like this, I understand. And then we are ready to share you and have a more deeper conversations with you, because we have found trust with each other. And that's what I said. Something like this, but maybe somebody can translate it more precisely. So this was the idea that was said. And then they said, And it was actually really touching. Some people I heard started to cry a little bit, and some couple of tears to me fell down as well. And then somebody started, asking questions about myself, about himself. That one who is asking, and they said, "Stop. You are a man who has already felt this inner bliss in yourself. But they're speaking like me, like this, like now. But you are really doubting yourself because you don't find the belief in this, or you don't find the confirmation about the thing you know it to be true, the blissful energy that he feels, the connection what he feels. You don't feel it to be true. You are doubting, and you are not allowing it to be as clear as that can be for yourself." And they said, so that's why you are trying to find, and that's why you are searching for information, searching for experiences, searching for ways that you can believe yourself a little bit more, because what you believe in, what you feel is true, but you will still be doubting it a little bit. You don't have the clearance, how you can say, the clarity, or how maybe a little bit differently you can pronounce it. So, and whenever you are being inside of a different meditation form or different meditation experiences or practices, you are not meditating to achieve this practice. You're just meditating to feel whether this suits you a little bit more, or this meditation practice fits you a little bit more, so that you can feel more clarity about yourself, that you already know it to be true because you doubt it a little bit. So, and then they start telling him, after 5 years you will be traveling abroad, and you will find let's say a guru or a spiritual master, like let's say spiritual this place of absolute presence energy. I don't know call it in English. It's a guru who shines bliss through it, smiling, shineful, blissful guru, a teacher. It will be somewhere abroad. And they said, well, you are searching for the answers also abroad, not only here. And what you will see in this guru will bring you clarity about that you know and is still doubtful for you to be true. And they said, and this is a great chance that you will meet him. And they said also to him that you, a couple of years later, will have a not so great chance, but also a good chance. You'll be walking in the forest, and there is a great chance that you will see like an angel type of a spirit that will come down to you, if it will be necessary, just for you to have a more understanding that what you know and what you see is true for you. Because so many people channel something and everything, and they doubt themselves. And many people doubt themselves because you are, let's say, a highly advanced meditative person who is highly blissful and contain deep blissful states with this true presence energy. But you doubt yourself, and you maybe have a family that is skeptical or something, and you are in a doubt of whether that being that came to you is true or not, and so on. But to him it was a little bit differently, but still he needs this like a clarifications, like confirmations that, oh yeah, everything what I know is true, everything what I know is right. That was really interesting information. But the thing what I experienced through this was that when he asked a question, I was like, oh, somebody's asking a question, and the beings say to me, like, stop, like energetically, like, stop. And I cannot even affect that information that's coming through. I cannot do anything. And the energy is completely locked at him. I just see visions, one vision after another vision, and the text out one text, and the voice speaks for itself. I was like, in the background, I was like, okay, This is something I don't understand. This is something I don't know. This is something I will never know actually until I ask this person. But this is something that I feel that without any doubts is coming through, and I'm not imagining this or whatever. And this was amazing experience for me. This channeling was amazing for me. And then a couple of moments after this, another man asks a question. And he was like, well, yeah, la, la, la. And he says to him, stop. And by the way, I will read the questions. I know there are several questions here. I'll read them a little bit later. I'll just finish the information. He says, stop. And something to him and something to him about this, about that, about the life he sees. He's rejecting it. He is not satisfied with his life. And he says to him something like this: the life itself is like an ever-flying, beautiful butterfly. And the butterfly itself is flying ever happy, ever joyful, and ever accepting life as it is or how it is. And just well, it's you who pays the attention, whether you fly or whether you doubt yourself or whether you stay in this thing, lowering the rejection of life or the unpleasantness of the life as it is. So, and they said to him, well, whatever we will tell you, you will not take any chances to it. The greatest chances what you can do is get a cat, a white cat. And he said, oh my God, I want a cat for such a long time right now. And a couple of friends that know him started to laugh because they say, oh yeah, he wants a cat already for 1 year or so. And the idea was, especially a white cat, was that it will create to him more joy, and the cat will take away, because it's something fluffy and joyful. It will start giving him this man more joy and more smile in his life, because then he will, so to speak, not pay that much attention to the sad things around, because those sad things around, as I understand, is nearly killing that man. He's nearly he takes that so deeply to the heart, those sad energies, what's around. So he's doing harmful to himself. So, and this was another interesting. And then he asked something else, and then something else, which was basically the same question in different sentences. He said, stop. He said, stop. We already told to you what you need to know. And those questions, what you ask, will be always there in you in the same form as you are asking right now. You just need to start doing something. And he said, well, okay, life is bliss, la la la. And he didn't take it too much seriously, but it doesn't matter. It was so important for me to like, okay, this is so interesting what's going on, because I understand the idea what they wanted to tell him, and I'm not sharing it right now. So maybe others who are in the same situation or a similar situation have the maybe something useful for themselves also. And then another man something asked, and the being told to him, he asked about something about depression or loneliness or sadness. Now it's not that people were all depressed there. It's just these three questions were in the first what they were talking about. So, and what they started to ask him, so have you, and I feel that he as young has lived in one place for a longer period of time. And what they do is they ask him, well, if we would ask to you whether it's true that you have lived a long period of time in one place. He said, no, I lived 2 years there and 4 years there. True. And they said, in your childhood. True. And he said, oh yeah, I lived 18 years in one place. And he said that, well, this place, how we see it, wasn't filled with too much colors. And he said, well, yeah, that's true. And this is the interesting thing. I don't do anything. It's just the words come out by himself, and that was really interesting for experience me. And what they respond to him was that so this has created a stamp in your body, in yourself, the too much joyfulness around you. So what we can recommend is do more traveling, do more things around. And the next thing is systematically what you have, what the systematics you have. Is what they tell him is that you do not eat what you want. You eat what you think is good, what is better for yourself. You don't eat what you want. And it's not about that you should eat what you want or you need to eat what you want. It's about that you do not allow your body to be free because of the idea what you think what is best and what is not best. So you are, in a sense, blocking again this life force energy in yourself. And the next thing is, how can you allow yourself to be free, to be joyful, to be excited about your life? If you plan too much, if you plan too much in your life, if you do your life systematically. And then he said, wow, it was like with a laser precision aimed to him. And he was in a shock, and he said everything was completely precise, and he was in a shock, the man. And then they started to tell, you need to have more weight, because they started talking something about his bones, that his bones will have like the sound when your bones are or something like this. I didn't quite catch it, but they said, oh no, we will not share this information so detailed, but what you can do is start eating more what you like and allow your body to eat more what you like. So the next thing about him, what they recommended to him is travel more around in different places and see the different colors of life. It will help you. And he said, well, yeah, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And then they said bye-bye. And then there was another sad girl which asked a question about, and what she asked, I don't know, but what they respond to her was, whenever you are feeling, don't sit, don't eat the sadness. Go outside and walk, and you will slowly forget about what you were sad about. Remember one thing, you have really, really good friends, true friends, they said, true friends you have. And those true friends you have don't look at you who you are and what you are and how you are. They accept what you are, and this for you is a true gift. So there's no point of view of being so sad at different periods of time, whenever you had this. So, and when I come back from this channeling, they stopped channeling at one point because there were ladies asking about how can I get a child. One was asking about why she feels fears, and one was asking different, one was asking different. They were asking about aliens, when will aliens come, blah, blah, blah. There were so many questions, but I don't remember them that much as more as how precise that information was. To me, it wasn't actually that much about the precise information as that much of an experience, because afterwards they were asking me questions and I was like, stop. I have no connection with why did those beings tell to you like this. I have no connection, I have no understanding about why is it. Different times I feel the understanding why was it said, but this time it was only words that were coming through, and all I can tell to you is the same words, only how I understand them. So how I understand them, the same words, but you hear how I understand them, as if I was in the same room listening as you were listening, or I can just interpret it how I understood it to be. So, and to me I was like completely clear of everything was fine. It was completely clear. It was something that didn't came from myself. It was like completely clear about this. And the most powerful thing was what happened was that when I came back, what happened was when I came back, I'm coming back, and then I start feeling my body, and I start feeling my hands, and I start feeling my voice, I start hearing my voice, and I start talking a lot, and then I left away. And all of a sudden my hands were hurting me so badly, because they were doing like this and really tightly. My hands were hurting so badly. My head was spinning around so badly. I was like, oh my god, I need to just sleep down a little bit. I need to sleep down a little bit. It was so intense for 1.5 hours. And I was like so amazed, so happy by this experience. And then again, I was so, how you call it? I was so, in a sense, not tired, but in a sense, drained out, as one man said. The complications from the channeling happened. The complications, and then yeah. So that was the experience I wanted to talk about, which I wanted to share, which happened in the camp. And there were also different experiences and different things which I cannot share about this right now, because it will be another 2 hours and I'm already tired of talking. But now is the time of questions and answers, and I'll put my screen a little bit brighter because I don't see that precisely. So, video buffering, the same like smoking. How to stop drinking alcohol? Yeah, how to stop drinking alcohol. And this is the thing where Enrico and everybody starts laughing about. It was asked the same in the channeling. It's something they asked something about. I don't remember, but what they asked about was, I'm tired of going to work, they said. He said, yes. So you don't like to go to work? They said, yes. And what should I do? And the beings are like, what the hell? Not like what the hell. They don't speak those impolite words. They were like, what the heck? And they're like, well, wait. And they're like doing conversation with the others in around. They say, imagine this. I don't like going to work. What should I do? Don't go to work. The next question, please. And they don't get it, because for a human it's difficult. We are in so much in this fog energy, we don't get it. We don't allow ourselves to be. And then I expanded the things which I talked about earlier in this video. But you would like for me to explain a little bit from a human perspective how to stop drinking alcohol. Well, alcohol is basically, you cannot go through an emotion. You don't have the courage to allow an emotion to be, whether it's sadness, whether it's loneliness, whether it's I don't know what kind of emotions there can be. And fears, not that much. And a different thing is also when you are addicted to it. But the main reason is emotion. So have the courage to live out that emotion. Have a courage to be in that emotion. Live out this emotion and let go of this emotion. Don't block it with alcohol or cigarettes, whether it's stress, fears, doubts, disbelief, uncertainty about life, loneliness, or whatever. Don't live inside this emotion. Have the courage to go through this emotion. It's really, because now it's really easy for many people to tell, I want changes in my life, please give me changes. But nobody will have changes if they don't do anything. Nobody will have changes if they don't make the first step. And humans don't make the first step because they think that it's hard, difficult, or not meaningless or whatever. But you just need to take the first step, and That's all you need to do. So by stop drinking, take a step closer to stop drinking. Throw out that bottle. I was addicted to Coca-Cola when I was 18, 16, 20. It was like every day 1 or 2 liters of cola I drank. And when I didn't have cola, I was like, I want cola, I want cola. And then at one point, I realized that it's doing harm to myself. And I just stopped drinking it. And sometimes I was like, oh, I need to buy it, I need to buy it, I need to drink it. I bought 2 liters, drink maybe half liter, and then I look at that cola myself and said, okay, now that I bought it again, now that I drank it again, here is the cola again. And what I do, I remember that I wanted to stop using it. I remember why that I wanted to using it. I said, okay, now this is the step that I take. I just unscrewed it and dispose it in the kitchen sink. And I saw it how it's going down the sink, floating down the sink, the cola. And I was looking to myself and thinking, I just spent €2 of drinking and then just wasted in the kitchen sink. And then my body thought, well, why do we need to buy something that we just waste? And so, yeah, sure, logical. And many people, they have these bottles in their home. They bought it for like €20 or everything, and they know that they wanna stop drinking, but they still don't throw it outside. But when you throw it outside, do it slowly and see how it's floating down the kitchen sink or the toilet, and you just see how the body is like, oh, I'm just wasted like 20 or 30 euros. Why did I buy it? And when you buy it again, or you are about to buy it again, you'll realize that you are buying something that you will drain down the kitchen sink, or in the toilet you piss out it. Why do you buy it? And what is most necessary for you? So this was the thing what changed my attitude to it. Although I did buy from time to time the cola, but right now, no, I'm not doing it. My body is rejecting it, and I'm rejecting it myself. So that's how I get rid of it. I don't know about smoking, about drinking, because I don't do it. But what I think is, if I were to smoke, it will be a little bit difficult. I mean, but it would mean to me, I need to get angry about why am I doing this, and that anger could change my mindset, and that anger could change my own personal energy against it. So whatever I feel the will to smoke again, that mindset, that new mindset will arise again with all those memories why I want to stop, and it will be my choice to stop smoking or not. It will be my choice again. So, okay, there were another question. Nice channeling country looks very nice. Okay, nice channeling country. Mud high. How to get dark negative energy outside of your place or body? Dark energy, I think it's really easy and really simple. First of all, don't pay attention to it. Second of all, dark energy can only come to you when you are a dark person yourself, meaning that a lowered energy state yourself, fearful state, anxious state, nervous state, it can come to you really easily. So what you can do, first of all, is lighten up the place where you live. Create a more beautiful music around you, some positive pictures around you, or art around you. Change the environment when you live in to a more positive environment. And the second thing is just stop thinking about this. Just stop thinking about this. The more you pay attention to, the more you create it, that which you pay attention to. How to get out of that state? Okay, which state? The drinking state or the dark energy state? You need to precise this question a little bit. You need to precise it a little bit, and the state. Okay, so fear state. Okay, fear state. Well, first of all, fear is you have too much information about you, and first of all, you are not allowing yourself to be. You're blocking yourself, and fear starts coming out of doubts. The first thing is doubts, and doubts is basically energy that we are. The doubt is basically the energy that we have not released. No, it's not released. So when we are, when our body, when we are wishing, our life force energy awakens, and we wish to do something, and we wish to achieve something, we wish to go somewhere. This is the energy that creates in ourselves, and that energy wants to move our muscles, move our voice, move our thoughts, move our body. So first, the solar plexus creates the energy for our movement. But when we think, we block the movement, and this energy starts moving inside ourselves and creating a fogged energy as more and more doubts in our life. So don't, and it will subconsciously release all that energy which is blocked in ourselves, which was not moved, which was not used for movements or for speeches. And when we have too much of that energy, it creates a fear, and then we start fearing about so many things, fearing about this, fearing about that, fearing about something we don't know about. This is another bad thing what can happen. And then at the same moment, whether you have fears or you don't have fears, when we have fears, we are blocking ourselves even more, because we are afraid to go to sleep, we are afraid to move, we are afraid to do something. We are creating more and more blockages in ourselves, and thus more and more energy starts accumulating in ourselves, and it can turn into dark energy, as the previous question right here. So what we need to do then is start moving, start laughing, start running, start doing, so the all harnessed energy what was within ourselves starts releasing. But the most important thing what you can do is, when you have the inspiration of movement, inspiration of speech, inspiration of joyful, inspiration of going somewhere, do it the very moment you have this information. Don't delay it, don't doubt it, don't fear it, do it. And it will create an automatical mindset that you do it automatically, you release that energy automatically, you put into work that energy automatically. So thus then it will create a more and a more cleaner and a more blissful and a more positive energy within yourself. And then the next thing you can have at that moment, so there's a question, I think, release it, yes, release it, use it in action, release it in action, release it in movement, in action. So and the next thing is, when you get to it, or when you get used to it, in the inspiration and instant movement, this is the same as Enrico told in one channeling, that when we are in a perfect balance, we don't have a choice whether to go to left side or to right side. We are already going. We don't have a choice whether to get up and do something. We are already up and doing. We are not doing this with our energy inside. Inspiration is this true life force energy that arises, and it takes action. So we need to instantly take action. So it's the same also in channeling. It's the same also in channeling, that when information comes, speak it. Because when you keep it, you will be keeping it so much long time in yourself, so much thinking about it, so much doubting about it, and it will do only harm for yourself. So what you can do is just do these moment meditations. Whatever comes in your mind, just do it. Whatever you just do a meditation. Whatever you want to speak, start speaking. Whatever you want to do, start doing. a small glimpse of inspiration, and it happens. Okay, what I want to do now? I want to move my steering wheel like this. Okay, I'm doing it. Wait, okay, dog woke up. You're just doing it. You're just not. Ah. You're just doing it. So I'm using this because it's more easier to describe this idea. So yeah, just do it. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it. And this is what Enrico doesn't like. Whenever he comes to the channel, people are sitting. And they are sitting and asking, what should I do? And he's saying, but you are not doing anything. You're not giving your life to have a joyful moment because you're sitting there. And so many people are doing this. I literally said that I cannot read it. So I'm just looking whether it's my parrot. It's not parrot. My parrot flew away, and I think he is already gone. So it's a really sad situation for me, and I still hope to find him. And so yeah. So anyway, let's go through the questions. I literally said that yesterday. Okay, you literally said that yesterday. Yes, that's nice. Matt, have you been told by entity or lightning about what's going to happen on Earth? Changes in the next few years with the volcanoes? No. Haven't asked that. But we have channeled lately, like a month ago, a being that said that the Earth consciousness is a living body. The Earth itself is a living being, and it has its own character and age, like a childhood age, then a teenage age, then an adult age. And our planet, from energy perspective, is a female because she wants to give and care for others. And what they told is that the planet Earth has lived out its teenage age. She has tried out so many things, and how she does it, she uses it, she do it with us, and half of our thoughts, half of emotions come from our planet's consciousness. The thoughts of changing the world greener, the thoughts about helping the Earth right now comes from the planet itself, because the planet itself understood, the consciousness being of itself understood that I, as a being, as a planet, want to care, not destroy. To care, because as teenagers they want to try out everything, like drugs, like smokes, like doing aggressive things, and she understands that she has lived out this period and she wants to give. And they said they said that the next level is dogs. There will be a song, who let the dogs out? Yes, go. Oh, right. And the next thing, what I said, will be, wait, let them fight a little bit. Will be when the planet, right? When the planet, the next stage is the planet will in its evolution, will go through the next phase, which will be, as they understood, that humans will start creating technology and supports for aiding the nature and the planet itself, so the planet can care about more and more creatures. And what I understood, the planet likes to care about animals. So this was really an interesting experience. So right now I arrived where I needed to arrive, and I would like to say goodbye to you. I need to fix that. Where is my hand? I need to fix this dome house roof because it is, when it rains there are little glimpses of water coming through. Yes, okay, so bye. Good day and bye, and thank you for listening.